11 once again. Happy belated birthday, Teddy. May your next year be better than the other one in all ways, and whatever it is you are wishing for comes. Thank you so much again, guys, for everyone who's talking to us. Let's keep this conversation going. It's nice. It just keeps us going. And someone has said, guys, are you talking about Women's World Cup? Let's start there because the round of 16 is here. And I'm not sure how to talk about this. Maybe talk about it from a positive side or from a negative side. First of all, it's been colonizers versus your colonies.
Yes.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Now the first colonizer is won. That's Netherlands this morning. They beat SA. I got up early, I watched the game, and I was like, I knew it was the end. Make no mistake. I knew it was the end of Banyana. Because I think just physically they are not as imposing as they can be. Mm-hmm. And I think that's been the main difference. Even versus Sweden, the 2-1 game. Which again was, I woke up, was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago? I remember waking in the morning and thinking, I just feel like physically they just lack just kidogo or two, like just to be able to go toe to toe with some of these Dutch, Swedes who I think are better conditioned. Yeah. I don't think it's a talent thing. I think it's better conditioned and basics.
Take the technical bit of it. Even on that game against Netherlands, there was a chance to score a goal, open goal, I think. For Banyana. Mm. And I've forgotten her name, the striker. Oh. Pardon me.
Gatlana.
I think it's her. I've just forgotten the name. Yes. It's open goal, but she couldn't. Nona ile kuskuma kando kidogo, try to find a way to just make.
No, I don't really blame it. Sorry. But that I don't really blame it, Chep. You know why? All strikers miss chances.
Yes,
chances are missed. And at times they are weird misses. Lukaku in the Champions League final was crazy things. Lukaku at the World Cup, the game Belgium needed to win to get through. Yeah. So you see this from top. I don't mind you can miss chances. I just feel first of all, just the physicality of it. Okay. I felt like they were short. I felt like the Dutch were stronger. Yeah. Especially as the game goes on. I felt it with the Swedes again. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like there are some small technical things that you can only learn by starting the game early. Yeah. There are times I feel like Africa is missing. I could be wrong, but that's just my...
I think you're actually right. Just from the start of the game you're talking about, you could see there's a difference. The first touch, how they go with the ball, the counter-attacking, how they possess the ball. You could see there was a drift between the two.
Yeah, so those ones are out, but then others are coming on to play. The next game is tomorrow.
Yeah,
we have a game
at
midday.
I'm talking Africa.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm talking Africa. I'm shamelessly talking about Africa.
Yeah.
I know. Sammy wants me to remind you. Yes, there is a game coming at midday. It's Sweden versus the US, and the easiest thing to say is that the US are going home.
Yeah, I think so as
without a doubt. The US are going home. The US are going through what Germany national team is going through, the men's.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've gotten to the end of their cycle and there doesn't seem to be anything. I think the gap between Rodman's daughter and Megan Rapinoe is too big.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. It is, and it's something that even Kali Lloyd, one of the players who was in the previous team that won the World Cup, was mentioning, especially when they failed to score against Portugal, and then some of the players in that squad who are new are celebrating the performance and getting into the knockout stages. It's been a huge gap. I think you can only trace around 6 players who have been part of that team who are still in the current team. Megan Rapinoe, of course, she's not starting. Alex Morgan, the captain, she's not the same player that she was years ago. So it's going to be difficult for them against a Sweden team which has looked really good.
So in case you're a big USA fan, Neha is starting, Fox is starting, Girma is starting, Sonnet is starting, Dan is starting, Sullivan is starting, Ernst is starting, Horan, Rodman. I really like her. Just because she's Rodman's daughter. By the way, I don't know anything. I have not watched 5 games of her, but because I know the pedigree. The pedigree is there. Yes, I'm like, you
top level grit.
Yeah. So that's the US versus Sweden. It's coming up at from midday. So in all of 29 minutes. Like again, I can, if you're a betting person, put your money on Sweden and move on. That's what's going to happen.
For sure.
I was talking about tomorrow because for me, I'm looking at it a bit from an Pan-African kind of angle. And tomorrow we've got the other colonizer versus colony. The Super Falcons versus the English, they were Lionesses. Logic tells me England will win. They're the European champions.
Yes.
Yeah, they are.
But my heart just wants... They have a very soft spot for the Super Eagles, for Nigeria, in anything. I have a soft spot for it. I tweeted this week, Kanu is my all-time favorite Nigerian footballer. So I have a soft spot for Nigeria.
Yes.
I hope the Super Falcons win it, but I'm not lying to
I think they've done a brilliant job in this World Cup. how they've been able to navigate through playing against the likes of Canada, who are Olympic champions, and them getting through on the last day to finish second in the group has been great for them. But then I feel like it's the end of the road for them, not because I don't like them, but because I think England are a little stronger, and also they have a really good tactician. Now England have been facing a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Like we were talking before the show about the ACLs with the women's team. Of course, they lost Beth Mead before the World Cup. Then Kira Walsh was one of them who was out in the second group game. But then what you saw about them is that they came up with a huge result in their last game against China, and they won 6-1. Majorly because they did some tactical changes. And one of the standout players so far I've seen from England is Lauren James, and I believe she's going to come out big again in this one.
Yeah.
I think England will go through to the next round.
I think of all the African teams in the round of 16, Nigeria have the best chance.
Yeah.
It's not really a 40% chance, but I think if any team can find a way to frustrate someone, might be, because they are much better defensively. Normally they've always been good going forward. Yeah. They've always had issues defensively. If the only team I think that has a chance would be Niger.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I give no chance to Morocco versus France.
Not even a slight chance.
Zero.
One.
Even two.
Yeah. And I
Zero.
think for all the teams that have gone to the round of 16, the African teams, I think Nigeria is the strongest one so far, and looks maybe that one that has a chance to cause a disappointment to the sort of the big six, because England is a favorite. I think it's England, Spain, the USA, they're defending champions, so they're the favorites. But now a team that maybe has that ability to cause a disappointment or to cause it's
the Super Falcons.
The ladies.
Interestingly, that
hopefully,
even when you look at the caliber of players that they've got, most of them are playing in different countries around the world. So it's really, really hard to predict what kind of play they're going to come up with. And of course, having Oshoala is great.
Hopefully they don't do what Ghana did to us in the previous World Cup with the
No. Let me tell you, Teddy. Let me bring you up to speed. Those problems have already been there.
Yeah.
Those ones have already happened. Nigeria and their federation have been fighting for a year. South Africa and their federation were fighting all the way to the World Cup. There were issues about, that friendly where they had to play a makeshift team because the Banyana, the main team, refused to play.
Because of the
pitch.
Yes, they've been issues about bonuses. Forget the pitch. It's about bonuses. It's bonuses because federations have been funny. Federations have been like, FIFA is paying you guys direct. So there's been an argument about bonuses. Yes. And it's with all teams.
Yes.
Canada, of course, have no money.
Yes.
England are fighting with
their
and when England fight, I think there's a problem.
Yeah, there's a big problem.
But Africa, our preparations have been zero. The only team that has prepared properly has
Morocco.
no noise is Morocco.
Yeah.
But Banyana, they have succeeding in spite of. Super Falcons in spite of. Bruce Mwape and him touching a player's chest in spite of. And of course, Jamaica. The reggae girls as well.
Yes.
They had to do crowdfunding. Bob Marley's family is heavily involved in the team.
the daughter.
The
daughter was really.
The federation doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's really sad from a woman's perspective because I think they should support it better. I feel like they should support women's football better. It's just sad, but I like the fact that FIFA are paying people allowances. They are they are supervising. Your pesa tumepatia Wokabi patia Chep na tumeona Chep amepata. And I think that is where the other guys are unhappy.
There's
because
no
they'll be forced to pay double now.
I think so. Yeah, so that's why they are saying, but these bonuses, because it's very odd for all the teams to have issues about bonuses. I just thought it was odd. It just does. It's not your typical thing that happens with football. Like all teams, like when England players complain about bonuses, there's a problem. So England, the USA, everyone, Canada, all the way to Banyana. No, I think it's unfair on the ladies, but the round of 16 are going on, and the game that is starting now is which should start in a few is what? The US versus Sweden. Yes, like I said, US are going home. Yeah, very nice.
Wow.
Yes,
but I think also the positive, their fans are getting into the women's game. At least their stadiums numbers are improving compared to the last World Cup. The numbers have increased. Ticket sales have increased.
I think it's the love of sport down under, because down under sport is really big. Regardless, I think so. I think part of it is because it's down under. I think down under generally they show up. Yeah, Australia, New Zealand generally they show up. Even you watch that Australian football, Gaelic football. It's called that Australian football. That one, they show up. I think it's because they show up. I don't know. But anyway, so that's the game. We'll let you know what happens, of course. And then, tomorrow, our Oga sisters, the Super Falcons, take on the Lionesses. We hope they win. And then Morocco will play France. Where? And then Jamaica, who are the first Caribbean team to qualify to the round of 16 since 1938, male or female.
We'll
play Colombia.
Yeah, and Colombia also think they're dark horses of this tournament.
Yeah, there's one
just
girl who's
something
been made
about
the
them.
face of
Caicedo.
Yeah, Caicedo.
the face of the whole team.
Yeah.
Kamashu says Kenyan clubs do sign a lot, but uko TZ leo Simba Day they will be unveiling 12 new signings, and they finished second last season. All 12 foreigners, even signed a Brazilian goalkeeper injured for the rest of the season. Yeah, maybe you can say that, but again, no, hii yetu ni kila mtu. Top to bottom.
Na pia you're mentioning
shuffling.
bringing in foreign players. For the Kenyan teams, is mostly reusing or recycling the players that have been there before.
And then they take
so inaonekana no progress.
And then Steppenwolf says, a bit off topic, you do rank these 4 players, Pedri, Musiala, Jude, bah, you're not gonna like me, but Pedri 1, Musiala 2, Jude 3, Kamavinga is 4th.
Nah, I disagree. Musiala 1, Pedri 2,
yes,
Jude, then the other guy.
Kamavinga,
Yes.
Chep,
Yeah, the same. Musiala, Pedri, and then Bellingham, and then
Kamavinga.
Musiala is good.
Sammy.
Musiala is good.
Well, I'll go Musiala first, then Jude second, Pedri third, and Kamavinga fourth.
Okay, all of you agree that Kamavinga is 4th, eh?
Yeah.
We agree on that.
Sure,
Yeah, I know, and it's interesting that none of you put Bellingham first, given his quite possibly the most expensive teenager ever. Quite possibly.
After I put you that first place, I'll still rank Musiala.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Kubasu says the Brighton will continue surprising us next season. Some guy is saying hi to Chep, and then Leon is saying banters aside, Rai is a better goalkeeper than Ramsdale. I'll keep that conversation until Starboy comes. Elijah, he's downstairs, he's coming up. Leon Kenya says Disasi can also play CDM, so into a bad move. Now we hope Kepa is going to improve because of competition from Sanchez. And then Bernardo says, can you rate Ruben Diaz, VVD, Saliba, and Lisandro Martinez? We need to make some things clear. Ruben Diaz, VVD, Saliba, and Lisandro. I'm going with Ruben Diaz first. I'm going with, actually, just the way you've mentioned them. I'm going with Diaz first. I'd put VVD ahead of Saliba now, because we've seen Saliba for a year. Let's see how he behaves second year.
Yeah.
I'd actually leave them just as they are. I'd say Diaz, VVD, Saliba, and Lisandro Martinez as they are. I'd leave them like that.
Yeah, no argument.
I'll leave them like that for now. Yeah, because for now. I think Diaz has been exceptional. And then someone is asking for the prediction of the City game. We'll talk about it later on in the game, later on in the show. Then someone saying, I saw a charity game for Ukraine. Lehman and Czech were brilliant. Just makes you appreciate true greatness. I completely agree with you. I agree with you, Brandt. This keeper plays well with his feet. I'm not a big fan of it. Anyway, let's come back and talk about Matters Football. That's the women's game. When we come back, we shift gears and now turn into what's happening. City have a big guy. He's coming. How good is he? Is he such a difference? Is there an older looking 21-year-old you have ever seen your whole life?
Nah.
When we come back.